Video games are responsible for creating many amazing memories that I will never forget. Throughout my life, games have consistently been there as a large part of it for as long as I can remember. And I often reflect back on how my journey began, as it is really exciting to think back to how my earliest experiences in games like Crash, Spyro, Star Fox, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, Club Penguin, and of course Sly Cooper are still some of my fondest memories. Those experiences stuck with me as I went on to have shared experiences like Star Wars games at sleepovers, collecting all the Skylanders figures and leveling them up with my friend Tyler, playing Batman games with my brother, and eventually dipping into early online gaming, climbing the leaderboards at the Transformers Cybertron games with my friends. After my phase of then playing mature games like Assassin's Creed, I ended up falling in love with the world of The Legend of Zelda, as the rich world of Hyrule captured my imagination like nothing else before it. So much so that it made me hunger to put myself in a world that amazing. That desire led me to games that involved character customization, as it was amazing to feel like I myself was in amazing worlds that I had been experiencing. The earliest example of this for me was White Knight Chronicles, and then this led me to discover games like Diablo, Bloodborne, and modern games like Elden Ring and Warframe. Of course, Destiny and Monster Hunter Rise, the two titles that this channel focuses on more than anything, as they are the two main ongoing games that I invest time to and constantly create memories by playing with my friends in Destiny and alongside my dogs in Monster Hunter, as you all know on this channel. I often go back and replay these beloved titles I mentioned in the above intro, reminding myself of what led me to be the gamer I am today. One such experience that I did not mention in the intro that I decided to replay very recently was Super Mario 64. At only 4 years old, during my first few months as a gamer, this game, specifically the level Bowser in the Dark World, changed my life and my video game journey, putting me on the trajectory into the kind of games I play now. And that is what today's video is about. The lessons that a video game can teach you and how they can evolve your style all the way up till later in life. Today, we're going to be replaying the Bowser in the Dark World mission as I think back to the effects it had on me when I was a 4-year-old boy. You'll have to bear with me because I am actually, to keep this intimate and real, I'm actually playing it in real time as I'm recording it. This is not a voiceover. As you can see by looking around you, Super Mario 64 is a mostly lighthearted and charming game full of bright environments and vibrant colors, with happy-sounding music that warms the feeling in the room. Just take a closer listen to the soundtrack in the lobby of the castle. Not to mention, Mario himself, with his energetic sound effects and fun design, is a protagonist any kid would be happy to control and believe in. However, something happened. Something happened when I entered the door in the top left corner of this room. Something changed my mindset as a 4-year-old kid as we watch this painting of Princess Peach, the damsel that we're trying to save in this chipper happy world. As it turns into a portrait of Bowser and we fall into a trapdoor through the floor, scaring me as a child. You see, Mario falls down into something darker. Something much darker. You've stepped right into my trap, just as I knew you would. I warn you, friend, watch your step. Bowser warns us as we enter the Dark World. The happy music in the castle is replaced by a track that creates a tense and dark atmosphere. The calm and happy atmosphere of Jolly Roger Bay is replaced by a feeling that was quite unsettling to me as a 4-year-old. The bright colors of Bob-omb Battlefield are gone. Instead, we have eerie greens and blues along with a black skybox that in retrospect looks as beautiful as it does haunting. It's quite the marvel that it achieves a feeling of vastness in the sky, despite the limited tech that the Nintendo 64 was able to offer. I remember being startled, frightened, but more than anything, I was excited. Is that not what you were expecting to hear? That's right, this feeling of something darker actually excited me as a 4-year-old kid because it suddenly gave me a sense of purpose to what I was doing. My imagination began to run wild as I stared out into the dark world. My mind was more concerned with completing the task at hand than ever before. As a 4-year-old, it was easy for me to feel that I truly was in a make-or-break situation in this unusual world, and that it was up to me to help Mario navigate this darker world and get one step closer to rescuing Princess Peach. Let's make a little bit of progress here. As we face challenges in the dark world, there's a sense of urgency, a sense of mission fulfillment. As I made my way through the level, I remember as a kid being shaky with excitement, laser focused on the TV at my grandparents' house, totally immersed in this dark world. More immersed than any time before in a game. Let's continue through the level, and I will talk to you guys when we reach the warp pipe. Just experience the amazing scenery and atmosphere with me. And try to think back to when you were a kid, and how this vast, eerie atmosphere might make you feel. I'm going to turn up the volume so you can really take in this soundtrack as well. Really felt like one misstep could lead you as a kid all the way down into the abyss, to the dark unknown. Every jump with Mario had purpose in this world. And as we climb these stairs, we've made our way to the warp pipe, where the real imagination starts to take in. Staring down at the warp pipe, at what seemed like the end of the level, I was nervous to jump down. But my imagination told me when I was a young boy that I had to do it. I had to face whatever was waiting for me on the other side. And boy, what was waiting on the other side was something unforgettable. A boss fight experience I will never forget begins as Bowser stomps towards me, talking and intimidating me in a way that no boss had done in my first few months of gaming. I knew this was going to be the fight of my life. Tough luck, Mario. Princess Toadstool isn't here. Go ahead, just try to grab me by the tail. You'll never be able to swing me around. A wimp like you won't throw me out of here. Never. The soundtrack of this boss fight sticks with me still today as one of my favorite pieces of gaming music ever. It is loud, epic, impactful, and truly got my young self prepared for a fight. Though it is a fast boss fight as an adult if I were to try my hardest, it took a little while as a kid to actually realize to grab Bowser by the tail and throw him into the bomb instead of into the abyss. Once I got that win, it's an amazing feeling. Even if only temporary, I had defeated Bowser, the most intimidating villain I had seen. I, as a much smaller Mario, had been strong enough to defeat this monster. Now, let's actually do it here on this video so that you guys can experience this amazing boss fight. When he jumps, it literally shakes the earth around you, causing Mario to shake. His flame breath is deadly. You don't want to get anywhere near that. The ground has these loud stomp animations at every single time Bowser simply walks, and his character design with the Nintendo 64 polygonal early 3D adoption actually looks terrifying. Bowser looks scarier than ever, still to this day. When you do grab him by the tail, again, as a kid, I thought maybe I can just throw him off the edge. So I want to show you guys what happens when you do that. He terrifyingly jumps all the way back up, again shaking you in place and immediately breathing flames. And that's when my imagination struck me. What are these floating balls on the outside of the arena? That must be the objective. And this brings me to the final point of my retrospective here. The feeling of victory over impossible odds as a kid is one of the driving factors of video game experiences for me still today. Always wanting to challenge myself, always wanting to get immersed into a world to the point that the lives of those inside of it matter to me, where I feel responsible for saving them. That is what led me to many of the experiences I mentioned in the introduction, and heck, that's the feeling that keeps me invested in hunting down ferocious monsters in Monster Hunter, my favorite game right now. And now I'm 23 years old, so we're talking 19 years later. Deep down, we all want to remember these triumphs from our youth, these memories of great battles from our childhood, when something that's simple now was impossible seeming as a kid. When life gets difficult, it's amazing to remember back to when defeating Bowser as a child was a triumph and the only thing you were worried about. You could put your whole attention towards it. Even now, when I need to motivate myself to conquer a challenge, whether it be in real life or a challenge in a video game I care about today, I can think back to when 4-year-old Dawson was brave enough to not only go into the dark world, but to be brave. Brave enough to make it all the way to the warp pipe, jump into the unknown, face off against a foe many times larger than myself and then Mario, and swing it around and defeat it with strength and bravery. You defeated Bowser, and that's what you remember for years to come. Remembering, everyone needs to remember that courage is a feeling that you have a sense of fear, and yet you persevere anyway. I'm curious what early video game memory helped you find your courage. So please comment that down below and consider subscribing for a huge variety of gaming content. Thank you all so much for watching, and this is Autobot Dawson, rolling out.
Yeah.